They hired me on a Tuesday. The email came from an address that ended in a domain I'd never heard of, but the pay was good and the hours were simple. Night shift security. Midnight to 6. No weekends. No questions. I accepted before I could talk myself out of it. The address they gave me didn't show up on any map. My GPS kept recalculating, like it was embarrassed to admit it didn't know where I was going. I followed the directions anyway, turning down streets that grew narrower and darker until the city thinned out and the buildings stopped making sense. The address led me to a dead end. There was nothing there. Just a chain-link fence and a patch of fog that clung to the ground like spilled milk. I checked the email again. Same address. Same instructions. Arrive at 11:45 p.m. Enter through the main doors. Do not be late. I was about to leave when the fog moved. It didn't drift. It folded back on itself, like a curtain being pulled aside. And behind it, a building stood where there hadn't been one a second earlier. It was tall, narrow, and wrong. Too many windows, stacked too close together. The kind of architecture that looks fine until you really look at it. Then your eyes start sliding off the details. I could swear the floors didn't line up. The main doors were already open. Inside, the lobby lights buzzed softly. The floor was polished stone, reflecting a version of me that looked slightly delayed, like my reflection was thinking before copying my movements. A security desk sat dead center, with a uniform folded neatly on top. A badge with my name was clipped to it. N01 trained me. No manager. No tour. Just a laminated card next to the desk with a list of rules. Stay at the desk from 12 to 6 o'clock. Do not use the elevators. If you hear footsteps above you, log the time. If someone asks what floor they're on, do not answer. If the lights go out, close your eyes. At 5:55 a.m., leave immediately. Do not look back. I laughed. Quietly. Nervously. It felt like an escape room prank or some elaborate test. Still, I put on the uniform and sat down. At exactly midnight. The doors behind me closed on their own. The first hour was uneventful. The building hummed like it was breathing. The lights flickered in a slow, uneven rhythm. I checked my phone. No signal. No internet. The time still worked, though. 12:47 a.m. At 1:03 a.m. I heard footsteps. They came from above me. Slow. Careful. Like someone counting their steps. I remembered the rule and logged the time in the notebook on the desk. My pen shook more than I expected. The footsteps stopped directly overhead. Something dragged across the floor. Then, very clearly, something heavy fell. The sound echoed down the walls, but nothing hit the lobby floor. No crash. No impact. Just the suggestion of weight. At 2:15 a.m., the elevator dinged. I stared at the closed doors across the lobby. The rules said not to use them, but they hadn't said anything about them using themselves. The elevator dinged again. And again, like it was impatient. A voice came through the speaker. Calm. Polite. Excuse me, it said. What floor am I on? I felt my mouth open before my brain caught up. The rules flashed in my head like a warning label. Do not answer. I can't help you, I said instead. There was a pause. Oh, the voice replied. That's not good. The elevator lights went out. At 3 a.m., the lobby lights died all at once. Complete darkness. I remembered the rule and squeezed my eyes shut. In the black, I could hear movement. Breathing that wasn't mine. Fabric brushing fabric. Someone standing far too close to the desk. I kept my eyes closed until the lights buzzed back on. The lobby was empty, but the security camera monitor on the desk was on now. It hadn't been earlier. The screen showed hallways, stairwells, offices, and me, sitting at the desk. Except the version of me on the screen was standing. Watching the cameras. At 3:17 a.m., every screen changed. They showed places that weren't part of the building. A child's bedroom, a hospital corridor, a flooded basement. A car stopped on a dark road. In every screen, something was standing just out of frame, barely visible in reflections. In mirrors. In windows. In one screen, I recognized my own apartment. Something moved behind my bedroom door. At 4:30 a.m., the footsteps returned. This time, they were on the lobby floor, slow, wet, uneven. I didn't look up. I couldn't. A shadow stretched across the desk, bending in ways shadows shouldn't bend. You can leave early, a voice said. It sounded like mine, after a long night of no sleep. Everyone else does. The clock read 4:31 a.m. I stayed still. The shadow leaned closer. Don't you want to go home? The footsteps retreated, disappointed, at 5:55 a.m. Every alarm on the desk went off at once. The doors behind me unlocked with a loud click. I stood up, heart hammering, and walked toward the exit. As I crossed the threshold, I felt the building pull at me. Like it was reluctant to let go. I didn't look back. The fog swallowed the building the moment I stepped outside. When it cleared, the dead end was empty again. Fence. Trash. Silence. My phone buzzed. A new email. Thank you for covering the shift, it read. We hope to see you again tonight. Attached was my updated schedule. Every night, end date. I quit that morning. Blocked the email. Threw away the uniform. But every night at 11:45, my phone loses signal. And at exactly midnight, I hear footsteps above my ceiling. Slow. Careful, like something counting its steps.